Hi guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to another video. Now, I haven't really done a recent purchases or stash ads video for quite some time, probably 6 or 7 months, and the reason for that, is because half the time I'm selling half the stuff that I'm actually showing. I mean, I've done a few videos recently where I've showed how I buy stuff in and how I get to keep a few things because the rest of the stuff pays for themselves, and there was a few bits and pieces in there which I've set aside, but everything here I've kind of bought for the collection, so to speak. And whenever I buy this stuff, I'm going straight to my own personal collection and picking stuff out which I wouldn't really sell, just to pay for it, just it's not cutting into my bill account or anything like that. It's hard enough making money nowadays without adding extra expense. But yeah, there's a few nice bits in here, but I think we've probably got about 20 kits or so to look at. So there'll be, and it's all old vintage stuff. I have bought some Monogram stuff as well. I think the one you're looking at in front of me is the only one we're going to show in this video. I thought, I'll show a few of the old Monogram stuff in another video at some other point, because I'm right back into my Monogram kits after the two USAC builds we've done. So, but yeah, I mean, I might as well just start into it now because the clock's ticking along and we've got a lot to look at. But like I say, stick around because I think every kit's kind of interesting and there'll be something for everybody in here. But yeah, first one, like I say, it's the only Monogram one I'm going to show today, but I picked this one up quite recently, to be quite honest with you, and it's just a really nice, clean build of the original Monogram 40 Ford pickup. It's just been really cleanly put together. I think it's the base plastic, but it's been sort of brush painted with varnish or something, so, and it's been built with the doors glued shut as well, I think. But just perfect little restoration project for me. I'd be less inclined to restore it if it hadn't had this clear coat put on it, but and the doors glued shut, because to be quite honest, they're really nice when they haven't been messed around with and just bare plastic. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's got all the original wheels on it, built stock. I think that was the best sort of rendition of this model, so to speak. I've seen a few boxed over the last 6 months or so, but they've all gone out of my price range, to be quite fair. Where that cost me 16 quid, I think, including postage. So that wasn't a bad deal at all. That, and again, just a really nice kit to restore. Is that? And I think what we'll do is we'll do the builders first and then move on. I'll keep them out of shot just while we're going through each one of them. But this next lot of four, they all came in one lot, and it was they were 25 quid for the lot, to be quite honest with you, including postage. So I mean, the first one is kind of a bit mundane, but one of my favourite kits ever, to be quite honest with you. This is the original issue of the 59L Camino. There's bits and pieces all over. I think I've got the spare wheel for it somewhere. Didn't have the original tailgate, never a big fan of this custom tailgate, but I do have the spare stock one, which I'll be marrying up with this one. But yeah, you can tell it's the original issue by that blue plastic, and yeah, just a really nice kit, to be quite fair. A nice restorable kit is that one. But like I say, that's been one of the grails for quite some, well, in my younger years when I was like 10 or something, my grail kit was this issue here. Because it was a sort of issue which came out when I was really young. I think this is about 87 to 89, I can't remember. And by the time, and I saw it in local hobby shop, and my dad didn't buy it, none of the family bought it, like, because I really wanted it. My dad said it was too advanced for me, and so it took me about another, I think it was early teens by the time I got one, and I paid 35 quid for it, and I've just actually bought this one in, to be quite fair. I've had a couple recently that, you know, they've not been the boxes of, you know, I wanted a really nice box, and this was quite a nice one, so I picked that one up for myself as well. But yeah, going a bit off track there, but yeah, so that was the first one of these four, and then the second one, you know, I think most of these are just parts kits, but you know, this came with a chassis and interior, but I think the chassis is from a Pontiac, probably a late 60s Pontiac, just because you can see it as the funny car setting for the battery plate. So I think this was probably from a 67 to 69, 70 Pontiac Bonneville or Grand Prix or something. It came with an interior as well, but I think that too is from a Pontiac Bonneville. I would have thought that's probably marries up to that. But yeah, I thought when I saw this in picture it'd just be a 70 Oldsmobile 442. It's actually a 71. So I haven't got one of these, and you know, you can tell it's 71 because of the vents on the hood, and it's got original front and rear bumpers. I think take that number plate off. Yeah, it's got the 71 on the number plate. But I wasn't too sure whether this is this was started life as a promo or a funny car issue or something. I know after the original 70 they turned it into a 71 and possibly a 72 after that, but then they reversed all the tooling back to 71 for the US oldies issue. And there's not a great deal in them, to be quite honest with you, but the reason why I didn't know whether it's a funny car or a promo is just because the hood's moulded in. So I didn't really research much into that. I mean, it's not one of the Joanne ones which I really would have been looking for, and if it was a promo it would have been really expensive, so it wouldn't have been in my interest realm at all, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I thought that was a nice little one, and these work out at like £6.25 each or something, so not a great deal of money. And then third one in lot was it's Imperial, another 65 or 66 Imperial, not too sure which year like, but adult roof cut off and what have you, and you know, it's got a nice hood on it. You know, I've got one missing a hood, so this might end up as a parts car, to be quite honest with you. I think I'm missing a screen on one, I'm missing a hood on one, but it's not to say that, you know, we wouldn't do anything with this one. That's probably the most likely ones to get built in front of all the others, just because it's had the boot lid already cut out. And yeah, I've always thought I'd make a hood for whichever one I build, because you know, I've been needing a hood for another one. I mean, I think that hood's a bit bust on corner there, or something's going on. No, that's it. You know, I think it's got a bit of a crack there, and body you can see was cracked there at some point as well. So but other than that, you know, it's nice. You know, for that kind of money, I wasn't going to sniff at that at all. But yeah, I mean, I love me Imperials and what have you, so that was the main one I was after. But then the last one I thought was because it wasn't a very good picture, it was just one picture, like, so I thought this one was a original 67 Mercury, AMC Mercury. But I was quite surprised when, you know, this is a Joanne Ambassador, probably late 60s Ambassador or something. But you know, it's only body and interior. Front balance is somewhere for it. I'm not too sure where custom front balance is for it. Oh, it's here. But there's enough. You know, it's a rare old kit, is this, like, and you know, there's enough there to make a kit out of. I'll have a hood I can use, I'll modify from something. Just say that interior pan out, but yeah, it's got a custom rear end on it, custom taillight panel, which is in really good shape, to be quite honest with you. Somebody's had a go at sanding the vinyl roof off it, so again, another excuse to make it a custom. But yeah, I was really chuffed with that lot, to be quite honest with you. You know, in fact, I don't think I've had an ambassador before. I've had a few of the Ramblers, the Rebels and stuff like that, but I don't know, something just not greatly appealing about the Rebel to me, to be quite honest with you. No, it's a really popular, expensive kit, and that's kind of why I've sold them, because they're worth a lot of money. So, but this is a nice one, a bit of an obscure car, and yeah, definitely happy to have that one. What else we got in builders? Yeah, this is a kind of a recent purchase. Bought it with a big lot of other kits, and you know, this is a 60 Plymouth wagon. It started life as a wagon, and you know, somebody's grafted a roof. I've worked out, I couldn't figure out what the roof was from, but it was looking at the 57 Chrysler 300, AMC 57 Chrysler 300, they put that roof on it. You know, it's not a bad attempt to be quite fair. I'm still not curious what the boot lid's from. Potentially from a 58 Plymouth, I would have thought, or something along them lines. And you know, I wouldn't mind doing a bit of archaeology on this one, stripping the paint down and seeing exactly what's underneath it. There's certainly potential with this thing. Needs a bit of work on boot lid to make that right, and my friend Mike, he'd noticed this in one of the other videos in the corner, and he did ask about it. But yeah, he sort of said that these wheel arches were for the wagon only. It's also longer than the standard sedan, so you need to cut a slice out of it. But the idea is there, and you know, it wasn't greatly expensive, this thing. So I thought it was just a nice, interesting one to get, and you know, like I say, a lot of work to make that right. But you know, the vision's there, I suppose, and you know, if I did want to make a sedan, then you know, at least I know I don't have to cut up a wagon like. So, but yeah, that was a nice little one. But and then this was from the same seller, and it didn't go for a lot of money, but that's because it's got quite a bit of warping to the, you know, from the front doors back, it's all nice and straight, the roof's nice and straight. 59 Galaxy or Fairlane Galaxy, whatever they are, station wagon. But yeah, from there backwards, it's actually not bad at all. It's just the front ends. I was toying with the idea of grafting the Revel front end on there. I think what warpings happened to it's probably happened to it, and you know, with a bit of bracing, I think, you know, would make this one survive. But I think the best way to keep its life, so to speak, is probably to use that Revel front end and see if that'll line up. And because other than that, you know, it's a really nice old promo, is this, and quite a rare one, to be quite fair. But again, it's just another Warps promo. Can't really do much of them, to be quite honest with you, but I think that was 12 quid, that thing. So again, it didn't really break the bank, didn't that, to be quite fair. So what else? Yeah, I think so. Quite a while ago now, there was an old vintage box which came up on eBay, and it actually went for more than I thought it would do, to be quite fair. I think it went for about 12 quid or something plus postage. But it was just it's got quite a few custom parts in there and what have you. I think quite a few parts left over from the kits. It wasn't just an empty box. But yeah, it was just a kit that I always wanted. I've had a few in the past, but sold them a long time ago. I think the last one I sold had all the custom bits glued on. They couldn't build it stock, so I think my friend Lee bought that one off me. That was the last one I remember selling, but yeah, box is a bit faded and what have you, and I was still happy to have it. And then I think Gary messaged me, said he was bidding on that one as well, so. And a few months back, you know, Gary, I think what did I win off Gary? Gary had this one on auction. There's a builder in box, like, you know, in primer and everything, and everything's all nicely sorted. But then again, it didn't go for a lot of money, and I did say to Gary, you know, do you want to keep it for that? And you know, I'm more than happy for you to keep it for that, because I did feel a bit bad that, you know, the price didn't go for much, like, but just a nice old restorable kit. But the reason I like these ones is because it has this is the only issue where they didn't have this is the original issue, and they didn't put the 8-lug wheels in there yet. But these are really nice Tempest wheels, sort of more baseline wheels, and yeah, I really wanted that kit for that. And I've got another one of these original issues, but it's absolutely split mint in box, and be ashamed to take them wheels out of that one. So but yeah, I bought that one off him, and he was okay sending it to me for that price and what have you. But now I've sent some stuff to Gary in past, like bits and pieces here and there, and you know, he said, oh, that's a good opportunity to send you a few other bits and pieces. And I've got a Corvair, a 61 Corvair I'm going to send to Gary, so when I eventually get round to it, I'll get that one in post if you're watching, Gary. But yeah, you kindly sent me this box, 67 Galaxy box, convertible. In fact, I bought one since Gary sent me this one, a complete kit. A nice box altogether, but he kindly sent me a builder of a 65 Mercury. It didn't have the grill on it or anything, and he just said, you know, it's just literally a parts car. I think he used parts for another builder he's got, so really happy with that. That was really kind of him to send that. And then he also sent me this 59 Fury. Don't have the interior or anything, but you know, if you're not if you're not somebody who's that fussed about, you know, interior patterns and everything, you could probably get the AMC 58 Belvedere interior to work with that, and just build it as a nice custom, or like I say, build it as stock if you're not too fussed about it being 100% correct. But I've never actually had a 59 Fury, so this is the first one I've ever had, and I almost prefer them to the 50, 58, 50, 57, 58, to be quite honest with you. Front end's a bit more gaudy, but you know, certainly the rear tail fins and what have you for 59, I think they looks really nice on that, and that'll be a really nice kit to restore. And again, I'll never do anything with this one, like give it away or sell it. You know, this one's gonna get built at some point, and it has all stock hubcaps and everything on it. So I was thinking a nice blue and white for that, light blue and white. Look good on that, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, I really want to do that one day, to be quite fair. But yeah, no, thanks. I mean, I've already obviously said thank you to Gary a million times, like, but yeah, thanks again, Gary, if you're watching. We'll get another box out to you. We've got a few bits to send to Mike as well. Still looking for some wheels for you, Mike, but I think I'm giving up on that search, to be quite honest with you. Keep finding boxes of wheels, and I keep on looking for certain wheels for my friend, but it's just a really rare wheels. But yeah, going back to that anyway, the 65 Mercury. Yeah, I've always wanted one, but I've never had one boxed, and then I bought that boxed. Every one I've had has always been a build a bit. Then recently, in the last couple of weeks, this came up. Really reasonably priced. Really nice colours on the box and what have you. In fact, the box is really nice on this one, to be quite fair, and that's what caught my eye on it. But I think this was 35 quid or something. 30 or 35 quid, I can't remember. I think it's pretty much all there. Body's been paid. Oh, it didn't have a chassis, this one, that's why it was a bit cheaper, like. But you know, you can use the chassis from the 66, which this was retooled into. But yeah, it's got all the stock and rear bumpers in there. And I always like this car because it's very reminiscent of the 65 Lincoln. I thought that front end was very 65 Lincoln-esque. So yeah, I think, like I say, I can't remember the last builder I had, but it would have been a long time ago. So I'll find a chassis for that, and then I'll finally sort out that one which Gary gave me and get one in each box. You know, I might even poach the chassis off the one Gary gave me, or see which has the better body. I mean, even though this body's been painted, it's in, wouldn't take much to strip that, and it's in really nice condition, like. So yeah, I was really, I think that was one of my favourite buys, to be quite honest, over the last 6 months. Yeah, just really beautiful box art is that one. No, whichever end you look at it, like. So yeah, so that was a nice one. What else we got? I mean, these seem like the most. I bought one of these about 8 months ago, and somebody started some custom work on it. And I was a bit gutted in a way, because it could have been easily made back into stock, because the cuts to it were clean and all the parts are in the boxes. But I kind of, when I actually do that one, I want to follow on the vision of that one. But in fact, this is the one, so I picked up the wrong one off the shelf. I've got a brand new. I bought. Yeah, I mean, I might as well show you that now, to be quite fair, if anybody hasn't seen that video. But yeah, they started doing some custom work on. Bought that about 8 months ago. But yeah, since then, there just seems to be a load of these appearing on eBay, to be quite honest with you, and kind of saturated to the market, to the point that they don't really go for a lot of money. So I bought one of these brand new in box, and you know, all in the original seal sort of bags and everything, factory original seal bags and what have you, in white plastic. And then I bought quite a bit of stuff off the seller, and this was I was kind of watching this one for a week or two, and it wasn't selling. So I put in an offer for this one. I mean, it was not really close to asking price, to be quite honest with you, but it wasn't a great deal either. And this one's, again, pretty much untouched, moulded in red. I thought it potentially was started. In fact, I thought it was started, to be quite honest, but then I had a quick look through it, and it hadn't been started. It's just had the grille set in place. But and I think the offer was on the basis that it had been started, so I think I got quite a good deal on that, because I paid much less than that than you do for a retail on the new kit over here. So box is a bit roachy, like, but you know, you can't have everything, and like I say, it wasn't a great deal of money. So, But yeah, they just seem to be all over the market at the moment, and then I know for a fact you just won't see them again for God knows how many years. I picked up a couple of them anyway, and you know I do like 4-doors, and I think they'd make a nice police car or something with them. So, but yeah, this is bought this thing, and I've been looking for this issue for a long time. To be quite fair, again I've had this issue before, and I sold it. I think the box was really nasty on the one I had, but not a big fan of Street Rod's issue at all. But Street Rod's series, so to speak, I never really liked the box arts on them. But this one, there was an article in one of the small talks, it might be in Scale Auto in Classic American, about 49 Merc, and you know, I remember seeing this as a kid in that article, and I really like the box art on this one. You know, I really wouldn't mind building a Merc just like that, to be quite fair, with radius wheel arches and in that colour, and you know, just do a box art build. But the main reason about what the box sold it to me, but the main reason I bought this is one project I wanted to do is the Graffiti Merc, and what's put me off that is doing the chop on it. And it's not because chopping a Merc's particularly hard, I don't think. I think the Merc chop is, you know, relatively easy. You know, you've seen so many ways to do it. You just find a way which works best for you. But the graffiti chop was such a poor chop on the real car. I think it takes some skill to get that poor chop right. If that makes sense, I think it was harder to make a poor chop than a just chopping a Merc normally, so to speak. And this was actually a started project, but I mean, it's still quite rough as this, like, but you know, it needs a lot of work. You know, the fillers, I'll probably have to drag that filler out, to be quite fair, and it needs a lot of tidy up. But you know, that's a perfect bad chop, is that, to be quite honest with you. I was looking at the shape of it and everything, and needs a bit of work on this rear panel here. But I started extending the rear quarter panels to make it into a 51. Again, it needs a lot of work, but you know, the basis is there for it. But that roof chop's just absolutely spot on for me. Is that's you know, that's if I ever do get round to building a Graffiti Merc, that's the one I'm gonna use. I don't mind that somebody's spent the time doing that for me. You know, because it, like I say, that was the thing what was daunting me about it, getting a bad roof chop looking good. And yeah, I was really chuffed with that light, to be quite honest with you. And it again, didn't really go for a lot of money, didn't that? It was 15 quid or so, maybe not even that. I just can't, to be honest. Some of these I bought quite a while ago now, so. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's pretty complete kit and what have you. Not that that really matters. Like, I mean, I got a million 49 Merc parts and builders and stuff like that, but there's some bits missing. Then it, like I say, yeah, doesn't really matter. But yeah, a bit of a double whammy was that, you know, my favourite box art had the Mercury and a really nice project in there as well. So yeah, really happy with that one. This one was another quite recent purchase. And to be quite honest, I've got a really nice builder on the shelf, original builder, which in fact is probably in better condition in this body wise. I had a cut down hardtop as well, which, you know, now I've got this one. I've sold that on eBay this week, you know, the built kit. Just quite a, you know, just needed restoration and what have you. But yeah, it's obviously the 64 Mercury convertible. I've been after this box for a very long time, just because it was one of the boxes which really caught my eye out when looking at that chap's collection in that magazine. Just the colour, the orange colour on the end of the box. It's pretty much the same as the hard top with all the parts and what have you. It's got a little bit of styling, loads of loose parts in it. But yeah, I meant to get that nice builder off the shelf, to be quite honest with you, but I'm sure we'll see that on another video when I start pulling more kits off the shelf, just to have a look at them. But yeah, now you can tell it's original, obviously, because of the moulded in visors and what have you. And the builder I've got, you know, it's got all really nice frame like this one with the moulded in visors all still attached and what have you. But yeah, I was just saying, I'm really more after the box on this one, to be quite yeah, I think this one's expensive, 25 quid or something like that, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, you can tell it's, I don't know if it's actually, I mean, the body doesn't look like it's been touched, or it's got a few glue marks, so it's probably a builder that somebody's torn down, or it's always had the parts together in a box. But yeah, I was really chuffed with that one, to be quite honest with you. And the box in too bad shape, like certainly the ends of the boxes are nice, and the top's got a bit of a delve in it, but you know, the kit's 60 years old now, so you know, what do you expect from that? But let's have a look. It is an interesting one, just for the facts. This is a kit that I actually sold many years ago, and I've not found another since. It's a 61 Mercury, Monterey convertible. There was one on eBay in the last year or so, maybe last 8 months. And it was in an incorrect box. I think it was in an over box or something like that. And I was going to have a go on it, but then Gary messaged me and said he's been after that kit for a while, so I hung back on it. I don't think it went for a lot of money, but it looks like a really nice kit, did that one. But I saw this one come up, and there was just a few things which, and the reason why I sold this one was it was missing the original hood, and I remember putting a grey 63 Galaxy hood in there just so there was something for whoever bought it off me to sort of work with. I mean, it's not the ideal hood sort of work with, but I kicked myself when I had this, because not long before that I had a 61 Mercury hood, and I'd had it for years and years. I thought I'll never find a kit for it, so I either gave it to somebody or I sold it. And then 6 months later I found this thing, and it's got a bit of a few little breaks to the windscreen. I remember that as well, like windscreen's glued in. And I think when I sold this originally, you know, it was a bit too much for me to be bothered with, to be quite honest with you. And it might be now, but I think I'm a bit more moved on now and a bit more patient, that I can deal with stuff like that. I mean, all parts are there, it just needs setting in properly and what have you. But yeah, beautiful body is the 61 Mercury. Like I said, been after one for years, like, and I would prefer the hardtop, of course. You know, I'm more of a hardtop person than a convertible person, but yeah, I mean, I think most of the parts are off the screw in this, and again, not a great deal of money at all, to be quite honest with you. And other than the brakes that frame, you know, it's not a bad kit, to be quite honest with you. A few issues with the box, you know, I'll need to repair that. I'll end up taping that from the inside, and I mean, you might not like tape on boxes, but only a matter of time before that end comes completely off and you're left with a box without an end on it, so I'd rather do something about it now. But yeah, when I bought this I was like really happy to have it, but again a bit underwhelmed that I'm still in the same space that I was all them years ago when I originally sold it, and the reason I sold it, but there's a missing hood in it, and you know, I'd have to do a bit more work on the hood for something else, or cut one out of a 61 Galaxy, which I wouldn't really want to do. Or but yeah, then again a bit like buses, and only a week later this one came up, and this is I mean, box is lovely on this one, but this is pretty much mint in box. No price, I mean, somebody paid $150 for that at some point. Is that 150? Yeah, no, nobody would have paid that surely, but I mean, I certainly didn't pay that. But yeah, this is a really nice kit, to be quite fair. All complete. Somebody's put the wheels in, mounted the wheels to the chassis, and taking the chrome grills off and what have you to see it on there. I think other than that it's completely untouched is this one. I think a few bits off the sprue again, but not too bad at all. Like, I mean, everything's there. Original decals and what have you, original instructions, and I mean, I can't really look at them in too much detail just for the fact that we've got a lot to look at, like, but yeah, I was really happy with that one. Chrome's absolutely brilliant on it, to be quite honest with you. So I'm going to have to put them in a separate bag. I would have thought. I'll probably put them in a bag each, front and rear bumper, just so they don't get barred up, but in all fairness, it's survived this long without doing that. So what we're talking, 63-year-old kit, it's not too bad, like. And yeah, I think like I say, it's just everything's pretty much brand new on it. Somebody just pop wheels and that's it, like. So yeah, really happy with that one. That was another one of me. I mean, in all fairness, there's not much in this lot, but I want to make sure I'm not. In fact, I'll put that in there, just so it's not rubbing up against parts underneath and everything. But yeah, I was saying there's not much in here, and this is why I bought them for me, so to speak, because there's quite a lot of nice stuff in here, to be quite fair. But yeah, I was happy with that one. Then I got another one of these, Pontiac Grand Prix. I think this is the third one I've got now, to be quite fair, and I think I don't need any more. See the Grand Prix a lot more than you do the Bonnevilles. The Bonnevilles are really rare kit. I've managed to get one of them in the last 6-12 months, I would have thought. But this is just another really nice kit, to be quite honest with you. Nice box and what have you. I think all that's been done to this one is body's been painted. Everything else is untouched, so to speak. Actually, the colour on this one reminds me of the Matchbox did or Leslie started off, and they did the little 164 Pontiac Grand Prix, and then later they brought out the super fast issue in the purple, and that's kind of what that one reminds me of. Really, because I've always wanted to do the red, like one which mimics the red Matchbox toy, and then this one kind of makes me want to sort of do the super fast version. Or but other than that, yeah, again, it's just a completely unstarted kit. I think the custom hood's been painted, but I've actually, I'll strip this body. I've got a load of parts for this one as well, so I think the custom hood's been painted and custom front balance has been painted, so I'll just, rather than mess about stripping them bits as well, I'll just get the spare parts, the unused spare parts I have, and put them in there like so. I haven't got the instructions in there, but luckily I do have some spare instructions, unless I put them somewhere. No, I don't think it came with instructions, that one. So, but like I say, everything else is lovely on that one. So, but the one I was really happy to have, to be quite honest with you. I say they come up more often than the Bonnevilles, but it's still quite a rare kit, to be quite fair. So, if you haven't seen this box art before, there you go. And these are all kit specific. It wasn't like a generic artwork, you know, by 64. Pretty much all the kits had got their own boxes and box arts with all the specific parts to that kit, as opposed to 63. I think the majority of them were all generic, so to speak, and just what you might get in there, or something like what you might get in there. And then there's this one. This one again, I can't remember the last time I saw a 69 over here in the UK, to be quite fair. Got a 67, there was a 68. I've seen a couple of the 68s come up, but they've all gone way past what I'd be prepared to pay for one, or what I kind of pay for them, what I can afford and stuff. The 69 just seems quite a rare kit over here, to be quite honest with you, and I do really like these. I think, you know, this tool started in the 67, then there was 68, 69, and 70 was a new tool, which got changed into 71. But yeah, I think this body ended up in the Big Al's, or the Allison funny car. Pretty sure that's what happened to this body. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a pretty tough box to open, to be quite fair. I'm not going to try and do it in front of the camera. So I know it's a bit sticky like, but yeah, this one's just absolutely mint in box too. Again, I haven't sorted any of this stuff out, to be quite fair. It's just sitting on the shelf for now until I get round to it. And I think if I sorted them out, I'd be tempted, if I'm struggling 1 month, to maybe dip into them and sell them and then never have them again. Like, so that's why a lot of this stuff's just staying as it is. But yeah, really nice kit. Like I say, we'll go into all parts. We'll just have a quick look at chrome tree and what have you. Yeah, pretty much everything's on chrome tree. I don't think there's one bit drops off that thing, to be quite honest with you. So again, really nice body on this one. But yeah, I think this ended up as the Big Al funny car, which I have a builder of that, like, but I've re-released that Big Al funny car, I'd say recently, but probably not that recently. I think Model King bought it out, and then we haven't really seen it since the Model King issue. But yeah, just really nice box art on that one. I was really happy to get that one as well. Like, I think it's only my second 69 box. I've got a few builders of the 69 series. I've got the 69 Lincoln and what have you, but I think the only other 69 I've got is the Torino with the rare parts. For, you know, because that Torino, the 69 Torino, that pretty much retained all its parts, to be quite fair. But for some reason, the only bits they didn't keep going with that was the custom front and rear ends, and I don't really know why. But yeah, I think this is pretty much the last one we're going to look at, to be quite fair. 70 Tornado. At first I thought somebody just put this cellophane from another kit over the top to protect the box, but you can tell this is the original wrapping. This is so crunchy and what have you to the touch, and so tightly wrapped around that box, I don't think it would have got over there. And box is absolutely immaculate as well, so I think this has been on there. I mean, I used to do this with all my kits, and now I don't bother. They just start annoying me when they start peeling away and what have you. So if the wrapping's coming off the kit, the wrapping's coming off the kit. But I'm going to keep this all together as it is. Like, so pretty much the same issue as the Joanne kit. I think it was shared tooling between AMC and Joanne. I think this one has a few extra custom parts. I mean, but from what you see in that US Oldies issue anyway, I mean, I think the original Joanne issue would have had the custom bits in as well. But yeah, but to be quite fair, I've got one of them Joanne ones on the shelf, and I can't remember whether that one actually comes with custom parts or not. It's been that long since I've looked in that box, but I think it's favourite of everybody's, to be quite fair. This one, it's just such an obscure looking car, and I don't think there was many extra custom bits in this. And again, I don't think I want to risk taking that box top off working around the camera, but yeah, this is all mint in box and what have you. And the only thing that's been done to this is somebody's painted marker lights on the rear bumper. Other than that, it's all there, so to speak. Yeah, like I said, I just can't remember in that US Oldies issue. I very much doubt in the US Oldies issue would have had the custom parts, but you didn't really, like I said, I think the custom parts went to a rear pan and a custom grilling set and some wheels. What stock wheels are in the bag in the bottom there and what have you, so I will sort them out at some point, but yeah, that's another pretty much mint kit, like, and I wouldn't ever use the custom grill on this. I thought the grill on this thing was always, really nice looking. Front end was that, so with the headlamps showing and what have you, so. But yeah, I mean, it's not particularly, for me, it's not particularly rare kit because of the Joanne kit. And saying, the Joanne kit is a kind of rare kit, but you will find that one come up every now and again. But you don't find them in the original AMC box and what have you, and especially not in such nice condition, to be quite fair. So yeah, I think, like I said, I don't think there's really much else to look at. We certainly had some nice builders and what have you worked in there, and some rare bodies from certain different kits and what have you, and yeah, some nice build-ups as well, like, so we'll just work some of them in back and what have you. Some obscure conversions need a bit of work and what have you, and some old warp promos plus a load of box kits. So yeah, I mean, I think what I'll do is, after this, as usual, I'll just quickly take a few snaps of these and put them at the end of the video, but I won't go too much further on in this, to be quite honest with you. We've looked at everything, or we've looked at a great deal of stuff, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Like, it's been a while since I've done a video like this, so it's nice just to sit and talk about a few of these things and what have you, but yeah, like I say, I'm not going to bang on for ages. I think the next video I've got out will be Friday or Saturday. I've got an update on the Porsche build, or Porsche build, whatever you want to call it. Got my teeth into that one really yesterday, and we're a bit further on. I think by the weekend that thing will be ready for paint, so I'll do a bit of an update on that. And then I'm not too sure from there, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I think your next video will be at weekend. I'll just take this opportunity to say thank you to all the supporters and subscribers, old and new, anybody who's come on board recently and especially all the people who've been with us from the start. You know, greatly appreciated. You know, if you aren't sub, please do drop us a sub, because you know, it does mean a lot, to be quite fair, that you know people are actually taking the time to sub and watch us, and gives a bit of an enthusiasm to come back to the bench. You know, I've got a ton more of this old stuff to show, like, and in time I will do it, like, and we've got a load of nice builds to be done on the channel as well, so there's plenty to come back for, like, so yeah, like I say, we'll pop some photos at the end. Whatever you're doing for the rest of the week, have a great time, and we will see you in the next video. Okay, see you, bye.